Hi, I'm Eileen Reynolds from NYU Stories, and my guest for our salon today is Perri Klass. Most recently, she's written a young adult novel with her brother David Klass. It's called Second Impact, and it's about a high school football team and sports injuries. One of the main conflicts that comes up in the book is this question of, if you're the coach, when is it safe for a player who has been injured to go back in? Using your medical experience, could you kind of give us Concussions 101 and explain why the danger is compounded once someone's already been injured?
Absolutely. There's a real danger of re-injury, and one of the things that I think we've all learned over and over and over again over the past few years is that repeated head injury, repeated concussion, taking a brain that's been banged badly once and then banging it again is really dangerous, and there's cumulative danger. And what you really need to do if someone's had a concussion is give that brain time to heal. And there are a bunch of complicating factors. One of the complicating factors, which comes up in our book because it comes up so often in real life, is that the kids themselves almost always want to play. They want to go back. So it's not just a question of, a coach making that decision. It's a coach faced with kids who want to give whatever answers it will take to get them back on the playing field, especially if there's a big game or if there's something else at stake. You want to kind of take those coaches off the hook. You don't want it up to their general sense. You don't want it up to the kid. You want some kinds of parameters in there.
There's this climactic moment where the two main characters are interviewing a doctor who specializes in brain injury, and they ask him, if your son wanted to play tackle football, would you let him? And he says, I'm not sure that I would. Is that your position?
For my own son, I wouldn't say go into a sport where there's a high risk of head injury. I wouldn't. I would probably say, is there something else which could give you the pleasure that you get from sports, that you get from being on a team? And that's, maybe some part of you is going to get hurt, but my favorite part not to get hurt would be your head.
Could you tell us a little bit about how the idea for this book came about and what it was like writing with your brother?
Well, we did want to write together, and we had this idea of trying to write together by writing in two voices. My brother has written for young people, especially sort of sports-themed books, and we were looking for an area where the world that I see as a pediatrician intersected the world that he's written about. And as you say, this question of concussion and head trauma for high school athletes, especially for high school football players, has just been not just so much in the news, but it's been discussed at pediatric meetings. It comes up at visits with parents. It's just really on people's minds. It's always complicated and it's always interesting, and you have to go at it understanding how much the sports can mean to the people involved.